Hello, my classy people. Thursday morning. I hope everybody's having a great work week up to this point. And a shout out to my racehorse.com. We have 63 caliber running in the 8th race on Saturday at beautiful Churchill in the Shawnee Stakes. So, you know, we're going to be rooting for her for sure. But before we dive into that race, please do us a favor by turning on your closed captions and, of course, subscribe, ring the bell. And remember, a week from this weekend is the Belmont and Oaklawn Stakes. Big races on Friday the 9th and the 10th of June. None bigger than the Belmont Stakes. Get your orders in for your tip sheets. They're $20 each day. SpeedKing24 at yahoo.com and or text us 732-804-0637. Please get them in early so we can get the administrative part out of the way and get your orders paid for. Well, again, a shout out to myracehorse.com. 63 caliber is back in. We all have shares in this one. Kind of disappointing to say the least, at least on my end up to this point. Well, 63 caliber has 5 wins from 9 starts, and obviously for about $300,000 by Gunrunner, include on the back end Tommy Amos doing the conditioning for us, and of course we got Morales in the orange. Well, as a 3-year-old, this filly is very nice, okay, and we expected big things at a 4-year-old. She won 3 races in a row last year, winning an allowance race in August at Indiana, coming back in the Seneca Stakes at Churchill, winning that race, coming back on September 24th at Churchill, winning the Seneca, and then in November at Aqueduct, winning the Grade 3 Comley Stakes. Turned her out for 64 days, came back in the Houston Lady Classic at 7-5 down there, and ran 6/11. That was her 4-year-old debut. I thought should be great gun. 7-5, right? So she burnt some money that day. Probably a lot of our money, my racehorse people, right? Beaten by a couple in here. The number 3 horse, Pauline's Pearl, who we all know, the Asmussen runner, won the race, and the number 7 horse, Hidden Connections, ran second. So Tommy Amos turned her out in January once again, 97 days. And La Trienne Stakes, she came back May 5th, which is the Derby weekend at Churchill, and again ran a very disappointing race, even though it was a grade 1 against some pretty tough fillies and mares in there. Secret Oath, Search Results, and Played Hard. She ran 8th by 12. Now she's back in 29 days, a little less competition here in this grade 3 in terms of maybe class, if that's the way you want to put it, but it won't be easy. She's training well. She's come out of both of her 4-year-old races very well, even though she didn't hit the board, running 6th and 8th respectfully. But we expect her to start to resemble how she ran as a 3-year-old. After all, 5 wins from 9 starts, a graded winner. She wasn't hurt out of any of these races. She's been training like she's always trained, and we expect her to give a great showing. So the number 5 obviously will be rooting for her, and obviously my racehorse people always bet our horses, right? 63 caliber, the number 5. It won't be easy. Let's look at some of the other contenders in here I think that we will have to beat. The number 6 horse obviously is a Godolphin homebred and owned by Godolphin. Frost Point, the number 6 horse. Well, 5 wins from 11 starts, 3 seconds and 2/3 for almost $500,000 by Frosted, trained by my guy Billy Mott and Alvarado's in the orange, right? This horse is currently riding a 3-game win streak for sure, right from her 4-year-old campaign into 5. So the number 6, Frost Point, will be our second pick, and maybe the horse that they all have to beat in here. Our third pick in this race would be the number 3 horse, Pauline's Pearl. Like I said, had beat 63 caliber a couple races back. Pauline's Pearl, 7 wins from 18 starts. She's a hard-hitting 5-year-old mare for $1.8 million. So again, my guy, Asmussen, is doing all the conditioning with the smooth Tyler Gaffleone in the yarn. So our third pick will be Pauline's Pearl. And to round it out, our superfecta would probably have to go to the 7-horse Hidden Connections. Again, Hidden Connections was beaten by Frost Point in the Double Dare. I think it's the Double Dare Stakes over there at Keeneland on 21st of April. So again, 3 wins from 11 start. Calhoun's doing the conditioning. And again, this is a very tough race, the Shawnee Grade 3 on Saturday at Churchill. So our top pick, of course, is going to be our horse, being a bit of a homer, of course, with the number 5 horse, 63Caliber, but it won't be easy. I gave you the contenders in this race. The number 6 Frost Point would be our second pick, Pauline's Pearl, the number 3 horse, and the number 7 horse, of course, Hidden Connections. We believe those are the 3 that you have to beat in here, but our focus is going to be on our filly to have a great trip around the track, of course. Everybody runs safe. Nobody gets hurt like that. So we're pulling for our horse, 63Caliber, the number 5 horse, with Morales in the arms and Amos pushing the buttons and the trainer's booth. But again, the other horses in here that we'll use underneath our horse is the 6, 3, 7, just like that. Very tough race here for sure. By the way, the number 2 horse, Travel Column, is a very fast horse with Louis Sayas. Will be on the lead. So maybe we'll throw her underneath. But we're putting our horse on top, like we always do. MyRacehorse.com, people. Right? We're always pulling for our horse, and we think that we're going to get a square price. She was a very, very nice 3-year-old filly, and we believe that she should be equally better as a 4-year-old. Her last 2 races as a 4-year-old, and only 2 races as a 4-year-old, pretty disappointing. Finished 6th and 8th, right? She needs to turn the tables here. Okay? So for us, 5, 6, 3, 7, in that order. Help us root for 63Caliber, MyRacehorse.com. It'll be a lot of us out there rooting for this one. That's for sure. As always, my racehorse, people. We love it, for sure.